Good evening. My name is John Boardman, and I live in the city of Lynchburg, that is in the state of Virginia. State of Virginia is home of the world's most exciting Christian university and the largest, that Liberty University. I got my bachelor's degree there in 2004. Right now, I'm currently working on two masters. One of them has a master's in human services, and I also work there as an admissions consultant. Again, welcome back to my HSER 508 Interpersonal Communication Project. The discussion of my OIG, my overall achieving goal. I'm going to highlight those features and show on how my features is going to help me achieve my overall achieving goal. Then I'm going to highlight the potential barriers that it may cause people and what I can do to, make things better. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about my surroundings, my environment, and how it relates to me and a person, and how that environment brings the things out of me. Then towards the end, I'm going to go over in detail the plan of action on what type of listening techniques I could use, and how do I make myself a better listener, a better communicator, in order to bring my overall achievement goal to life. Welcome back to my interpersonal communication project. And in this video presentation, we will be going through a slide that I created. The slide starts off with pictures of my life in the last decade or so. The first picture that you see in the far left-hand corner, top, is a picture of me when I was working as a personal trainer. Next picture in the middle, you see that's a picture of my youth group, and that's a very special picture to me because that also happened at Liberty Mountain at the Moss Hall building on the first floor, or no, second floor. The second floor is where the Museum of Dr. Falwell, and you can see his oil painting. The next picture on over, that kind of showed the people that I was working with as a personal trainer. Then next is the place that I worked in as a youth group. Then the map of Liberty University where I'm currently working at, and then the picture of me as an admissions consultant. Assessment, which I scored 74, which is pretty good. The next assessment, which I did, which was part of this course as well, was a DISC behavioral blend, and there was two of them. The one assessment was on how I think of others think of me as, that came out as SD. Then I had another one, which I think of me as, which came out CSD. Then the following was another assessment from another course, and that assessment was the McBeers type personality test. And that too also utilized letters. It had 4, and those 4 letters came out as E, N, T, J. You translate that, that stands for life's leaders. What is my overall achieving goal? To leave the world a better place than when I entered it, the teacher asked us was, how are you going to reach that overall achieving goal? The way I'm going to do that is by the gifts that God has given me. The spiritual gifts He gave me are encouraging, teaching, and serving. And going through interpersonal communication, my overall achieving goal is to leave this world a better place, to become a mass communicator. When I think of great mass communicators, names come to mind is Dr. Jerry Falwell. Then you got Ronald Reagan, General George Patton. These 3 guys right here played a very important role of history in leading people with their vision, and the way they drew people was their mass communication abilities. Now, the Masters of Human Services had numerous assessments that I've done. 2 of them just recently, enlisted assessment and the DISC behavior in HSER 508. DISC behavior is in a book called Mel's Carbano entitled Extreme Personality Makeover. Now, Mel illustrates a pie, just like the one that I'm getting ready to. He takes a pie and divides up into quarters. Then each letter in the word disc, he places them. You got D in the top left-hand corner. You got I in the top right-hand corner. Then you got C, which is the bottom left-hand corner. And then you got your S, which is bottom right corner. Each section, or should I say each letter, represents a personality trait. But each half is grouped specifically. Like a top, DI is your outer energy, and your bottom, CS, is your inner energy. But also on the left-hand side represents task, and the right-hand side represents people. So you can take the letter D, D. D represents outer energy, task-oriented. Then another example is you got your letter S, which is reserved, but for people. That's what's for me. They did the one where how I think people think of me as. And the two letters that came out for me was SD. SD translated as steady doer. And the way they describe it is as people getting the job done, no matter what. And now, the way I think of me is very, very close. And that came out as CSD, which is competent, steady doer. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take the letters. I'm going to draw out their strength and their weakness based upon this book. So let's jump into the strengths and weaknesses of the letter C, S, and D. In the letter C, you have your cautious, calculated. And these are the people that are great to help people reason. These are your accountants. Their weakness is they expect everything to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, they'll keep on finding questions until they get the right answers to make things perfect. The next letter is you got your S's. These are your servant types. Your servant types are, they're the ones that will help you if you're stuck in a ditch. But their weakness is that they could take advantage of. Now, that's not the case with me, not all the time. Because my next letter, D, which is your dominant driven type, these are the guys that have the objectives and your bottom line type. But their problem is that they overuse their strength. My mirror type personality came out with 4 letters that's very, very similar to a disc. Their 4 letters was E, which is extrovert. You can compare it to outer energy. Then you got your N, which is intuitive. And the next letter is T. T is your thinker type, and you got your letter J. Now you put those 2 letters, those 4 letters together, E and TJ, you got your life's leaders. Now, if you compare my CSD and or my SD to my Myers-Briggs type personality, they're very, very close because very, very comparable to the way the behavioral blends communicate themselves in the CSD. They're very similar because they both are very driven to the objective.